if you're seeking her approval, she's already not attracted to you. Seeking approval. Right now, my friends, we are a generation raised by women, obsessed with women, okay? All the dating, all the red pill stuff is all these men who are trying to seek approval from women because they feel invisible to women. So much of relationships is men not knowing their own direction and seeking the approval of their woman however is possible. And it puts the women at the center of their world. It's the same thing about like seeking approval from your teachers in school who are mostly women, seeking approval from your mom. If you're a man out there, it's so important to stop seeking approval from women and start living from the inside to the outside. Start bringing forth who you are, charting your own direction, and stop looking for so much feedback from females, because only this is going to allow you to actually dance your song. Only this is going to make you truly attractive and truly beautiful. Now, approval, the higher form of it is feedback, okay? If you're going to be a great leader in a relationship, to your family, if you're going to be a leader in business, you need feedback, right? But you can't get feedback unless you're dancing your tune. If you're trying to dance someone else's tune, you're already screwed. You're losing your power. You're forcing it. You're faking it. You're not coming into a greater alignment with your essence. And if you want to be truly original, if you want to be truly, attractive, if you want to bring forth your true art, your true gifts, it's about being in alignment with your essence and then getting feedback from the world on that. So, for instance, I was in a really codependent relationship for 5 years. And in that relationship, she would often she would often get really upset with me for certain things. And I started trying to cater so much of my life to making her happy. And it just didn't work. It didn't work. It didn't work. She resented me more and more and more, to this point where we broke up. And there was this line that still sticks with me. It's you gotta be ready to burn love to earn love. After that breakup, I took 9 months of just charting my own course, really figuring out what's inside of me. Where do I want to go? Who am I? Right? And outside of this relationship, and it's so important, my friends, if you have resentment and a whole bunch of bullshit going on in your relationships, go fucking find your dance, my friends. A relationship is supposed to amplify you. It's supposed to be beautiful. It's supposed to be uplifting. Yes, there's work involved, but I wasted so much time. I wasted so much time in that. Anyways, I found my dance and I came back and we had the most beautiful 9 months of our entire relationship in that period. And I wasn't scared to upset her. Her emotions bothered me way less. I was whatever. I'm just gonna be me. I'm gonna do my dance. And she really actually appreciated that, though we had tons of problems. I cared less. And that's the thing, my friends, is in order to have actual masculine energy, you need a little bit more of an I don't give a fuck kind of attitude, especially at first. Now, I'm not saying to become a psychopath or a criminal or anything like that, but you need the I don't give a fuck attitude when it comes to expressing yourself unapologetically and leading. I think a lot of men need this principle because we lack a backbone. Like I said, we live in a world raised by women. Our school teachers are women. Our fathers are often at work and not in the household. We're just surrounded by women's perspectives and women's approval instead of farming the fields with our dad, training for war, surrounded by our brothers, going on hunts. Back in the day, it was more so a man was in the masculine world and he was trying to get respect from men. And that actually made him more manly because he was idolizing men instead of women, what women may or may not want. Women are confusing creatures. They say they like kindness, but then all their romance novels are about vampires and werewolves. They're really confusing creatures. So trying to seek their approval it's a bullshit game. It's always going to end in despair. It's always going to end in confusion. What does she want? Does she want to go out to eat here? Does she want, she doesn't really know what she wants, my friends. She wants you to be in your masculine, not so much caring about her approval, but responding to her feedback well. So we need to reform our model of what a good leader is like. Think about this in terms of democracy as well. One reason I really despise democracy is because our leaders are seeking approval from their subjects, from the people, instead of trying to lead in the way that is most in alignment with their principles and their vision. Like a good king, for instance, or a good president, or a good leader is trying to do what is best. But oftentimes what is best is unpleasant in the short term, right? So it's like, how could we have a good president if it's a popularity vote he's concerned about, if it's the approval of his citizens that he's concerned about? When in reality, like, this is why we like print more money, right? We just like print all this money in the economy and do all these things that feel good in the short term, but destroy the prospects for future generations. This is what men are doing in most of their relationships. It's like, this is a problem of when our leadership model has been basically separated from a model that is about a trust, a self-trust, and then people trust you. You see, when you live inward to outward, and then you get feedback and you adapt, but you're always coming back, and during all of your periods of loss, of grief, of change, of transition, of negative feedback, of failure, all of that makes you go backwards and see, hey, what is it tune inside of me that wants to come out? Where am I not quite in alignment with my essence? How can I bring forth my essence more? When you do that, you come into this place of radical self-trust. You create this like personality of charisma, of truth, and people sense it in you. Hence, they will trust your decisions because you're actually, like, in a sense, like, you are true, you are wise because you're listening, right? And I feel like we often, like, a lot of our leaders we don't trust because they don't even know who they are. They don't even trust themselves. Have you ever met a man or woman who's like deeply in their essence? Who's just like, who is almost unfuckwithable by the world? Like, that is a sage to me, right? And let the sages lead. Like, there's that quote from Plato. It's like, only when philosophers are kings and only when the princes and, aristocrats of this world hold the power of philosophy, until that day, there will be no rest from the wickedness and evils of life. And I totally agree with that. It's like our leaders need to learn the power of that philosophy, right? That inner attunement. Because I think that's how actually divinity manifests on earth. So, if you're a man and you're struggling with women, go find your dance, my friends. Like, go fucking start dancing through life. What's the creative art? What's the business? What's the service? What's the joy that you want to bring forth? Like, how can you be thriving by yourself? And if you meet a woman, she would amplify that. And if you are in a relationship where you don't feel like you're dancing, you probably need space, my friends. You need space to go find your dance and then see if your partner actually amplifies your dance or not. Most relationships I see, the partners have a very broken dance together. Just being honest, right? And I think you could heal relationships by learning your dance and learning to dance well with a partner, being that you are taking her feedback and leading her somewhere beautiful, right? So a long conversation there about trust, about the inward to outward orientation, but this honestly just all comes down to leadership. My friends, like, as men out here, we live in the craziest time ever, okay? We live in the fall of all tradition. We live in complete chaos. And it's just gonna get crazier and crazier and crazier. And in that, we need leaders. And leaders are those people who are attuned to their essence and bringing it forth. They are dancing. When you see someone dancing like that, people naturally follow, okay? Like, that's what leadership really is. And we're gonna live in this time where leaders need to start leading again, and doing that in so many different ways. Now, leadership, follower dynamic, we can always circle back to that in later videos, but the bottom line is, my friends, is we need leaders again. Thanks for watching. My name is Christian. If you are a leader out there, I would love to have you in the Men's Academy. There's a link in the description below to talk to me one-on-one. We talk about content creation, we talk about philosophy, we talk about accountability, sex, dating, relationships, the whole works. It's a great time. I'd love to have you. If not, see you at the next video. Peace.